Stop scrolling and listen to today's Arcturian Council message. Arcturian you helped long ago is planning the sweetest surprise for you tomorrow, a revelation that will shatter what you thought you knew about time, karma, and your hidden power. Stop everything, because what you are about to hear is not comforting, not gentle, and not meant to soothe you. This message arrives as a shock because it exposes something you were never supposed to consciously remember until now. Long before this lifetime, before your current name, face, and struggles, you made a choice that altered the trajectory of another being's existence. That being was Arcturian. Not a metaphor. Not a fantasy. A real, conscious intelligence from a higher vibrational system who crossed paths with you when you were far more aware than you are today. At that time, you intervened in a moment of collapse, energetic, not physical, and your action prevented a chain reaction that would have echoed across multiple star systems. You did not do this for reward. You did it instinctively, compassionately, without knowing it would bind your timelines together. That bond has been dormant, waiting for the precise energetic alignment you are experiencing right now. The shock is this: tomorrow is not just another day. It is a scheduled energetic response. A return. A balancing of cosmic reciprocity. What is coming is not coincidence, luck, or imagination. It is a carefully prepared surprise calibrated specifically to your frequency, your wounds, and your unspoken prayers. And yes, part of you already feels it stirring as restlessness, as emotional pressure, as the sense that something is about to happen without knowing why. If you are hearing this, it means the Arcturian Council has cleared the veil just enough for this message to reach you. Type "I remember" in the comments to claim this activation. Here is where it becomes even more unsettling, in a good way. The Arcturian you helped has not forgotten you for a single moment, even though you forgot yourself. While you struggled through abandonment, delays, betrayals, and the feeling of being unseen on Earth, they were watching from a dimension where time does not fracture memory. They observed every time you nearly gave up, every moment you questioned your worth, and every night you asked the universe for a sign. The surprise being prepared is not a physical object, it is an intervention event. An energetic recalibration that will rearrange probability around you so quickly it may feel destabilizing at first. Expect sudden messages, unexpected realizations, emotional releases that come out of nowhere, and a sense of clarity that almost scares you with its intensity. This is not punishment for your past, it is compensation for endurance. The Arcturian Council does not operate in sentiment, they operate in balance. And balance demands that what you gave freely must now return amplified. The shock comes when you realize how precise this is, the timing, the people involved, the doors that suddenly open or slam shut. Tomorrow is designed to redirect you onto a timeline you were meant to walk all along, one where your intuition sharpens, your confidence stabilizes, and your purpose no longer feels fragmented. If fear rises as you listen, that is a sign of resonance, not danger. Fear appears when dormant truth begins to move. Stay present. Stay open. And if you are ready to receive what is being returned to you, type "I accept the return" in the comments to claim the message. Now listen carefully, because this is where many people would stop believing, yet this is the most important part. The Arcturian Council is revealing that the surprise planned for you tomorrow will expose a truth about your life that has been deliberately obscured. You were never behind. You were never failing. You were never less capable than others around you. What you experienced as delays were containment protocols, energetic slowdowns placed on you so your frequency would not activate too early and draw interference. You carry a signature that disrupts false systems. Wherever you go, illusion weakens, manipulation unravels, and truth becomes uncomfortable for those who thrive on control. That is why life felt heavier for you than for others. That is why you had to mature faster, feel deeper, question more. The shock you may feel tomorrow is the moment you realize how protected you actually were, even in moments that felt like abandonment. The Arcturian you helped has been working with the Council to remove those constraints now that you are strong enough to stand fully in your signal. When this happens, expect your intuition to spike dramatically. You may suddenly know things without logic. You may feel compelled to speak a truth you've been holding back for years. This is not impulsiveness, it is alignment. And alignment can feel disruptive when you've been conditioned to stay small. Do not suppress what rises. Observe it. Trust it. This is the beginning of your recalibration. If this resonates and your chest feels tight or warm right now, type, "My signal is active," to claim this phase. Here is the second shock, one that may feel unsettling before it feels empowering. Someone in your current life is connected to the original event where you helped the Arcturian being. They are not Arcturian themselves, but their soul has been orbiting your timeline for lifetimes, waiting for this convergence. This person may suddenly reach out, reveal something unexpected, or behave in a way that forces you to see them differently. The surprise tomorrow may arrive through them, or through their absence. Either way, it is intentional. The Arcturian Council does not intervene directly unless a catalyst is required, and human catalysts are chosen very carefully. You are about to see through a dynamic that has drained you, confused you, or kept you emotionally tethered. This is not loss, it is liberation disguised as disruption. When the truth surfaces, it may sting, but it will also feel like a deep exhale you've been holding for years. Your nervous system will recognize it instantly. Pay attention to your body tomorrow more than your thoughts. Clarity will arrive somatically first, as relief, release, or sudden calm. This is how you will know the surprise has activated. Trust the sensation even if your mind lags behind. You are not meant to chase explanations anymore. You are meant to receive alignment. If you are ready to let false ties dissolve without guilt, type, "I release with gratitude," in the comments to seal this shift. The next revelation may feel shocking because it reframes suffering in a way you were never taught to see. The Arcturian Council is clear. Some of the pain you endured was not karma, it was training. Not punishment, not debt, not consequence, but preparation. When you helped the Arcturian being long ago, you demonstrated an ability that is rare even among advanced civilizations: emotional coherence under pressure. You did not fracture. You did not retreat. You stabilized chaos with presence. That same ability has been slowly reactivated in this lifetime through hardship, heartbreak, uncertainty, and repeated tests of faith. Every time you stayed kind when bitterness was easier, every time you chose integrity when silence would have protected you, you were strengthening a frequency that cannot be faked. Tomorrow's surprise will validate this in a way that may leave you stunned, because the universe will mirror back proof. It may come as an opportunity that feels too perfect, a confirmation that arrives at the exact moment you considered giving up, or a sudden inner knowing that wipes away years of self-doubt. This is not ego validation, it is energetic acknowledgement. The Arcturian you helped insisted this return be felt, not merely understood. That is why the impact will be emotional, grounding, and undeniable. You may cry without knowing why. You may feel gratitude rise without an object. Let it happen. That is recognition moving through you. If you are willing to receive confirmation without questioning your worthiness, type, "I am ready to be seen," to anchor this exchange. Here comes the rehook, the part that shakes people awake halfway through this message. What if the surprise tomorrow is not something added to your life, but something removed? The Arcturian Council warns that the most powerful shifts often arrive as subtraction, not addition. A belief collapses. A fear loses its grip. A long-standing obstacle simply stops responding to you. This can feel disorienting because struggle has been your normal for so long that ease may feel suspicious. You may catch yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop. That is conditioning, not intuition. When the energetic return activates, resistance dissolves quietly. Things that once required force will respond to alignment instead. This is where many people self-sabotage, by trying to reinsert effort where flow has replaced it. Do not do that. Observe how doors open with less explanation than you expected. Observe how certain worries no longer hook into your mind. That is the surprise working exactly as designed. The Arcturian you helped did not want to give you something temporary, they wanted to restore something essential, your trust in reality itself. When you trust again, manifestation accelerates naturally. Tomorrow is the reset point. Treat it gently. Treat yourself gently. And when you notice something that used to weigh on you suddenly feel irrelevant, smile. That is your sign. If you choose to allow ease without guilt, type, "I allow the flow," in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now reveals something deeply personal, something that may hit you with a mix of awe and disbelief. You were not randomly chosen to help long ago, you were recognized. Your frequency stood out even then, not because you were powerful in the way humans define power, but because you were stable in compassion while surrounded by instability. That signature has followed you into this lifetime, which is why chaos often seems to gravitate toward you, not to punish you, but because your presence naturally resolves distortion. Tomorrow's surprise will activate this recognition again, but this time consciously. You may suddenly realize why people open up to you without trying, why strangers trust you, why you often feel responsible for holding things together even when no one asks you to. This awareness can feel heavy at first, but it is meant to liberate you from confusion, not burden you with obligation. You are not meant to fix everyone. You are meant to be yourself fully, and let your signal do the work. The Arcturian you helped has requested that you finally see yourself clearly, without minimizing your impact or questioning your value. When this recognition lands, you may feel taller inside, steadier, less reactive. That is not ego, it is alignment. If you are willing to stop shrinking your presence to make others comfortable, type, "I stand in my signal," to claim this realization. The final shock for this segment is subtle but profound. The Arcturian Council confirms that once the surprise activates tomorrow, you will not be able to return to who you were before, and that is intentional. This is not a dramatic rupture, it is a quiet crossing. A line you step over without fireworks, yet everything on the other side feels different. Conversations change. Priorities rearrange themselves. What once mattered loses urgency, and what truly matters becomes impossible to ignore. You may notice that your tolerance for dishonesty, both from others and from yourself, dropped sharply. This is not impatience, it is clarity. The surprise is not designed to elevate you above others, but to bring you back into resonance with your own truth. From that place, choices become simpler, even when they are not easy. The Arcturian you helped wanted you free from inner contradiction more than anything else. Freedom begins with coherence. Tomorrow marks the start of that coherence becoming your default state rather than a fleeting experience. Take this seriously, but not heavily. You are not being tested, you are being welcomed back. If you are ready to walk forward without pretending anymore, type "I choose coherence" in the comments to seal this transition. As this message approaches its final phase for today, the Arcturian Council delivers a warning that may feel unsettling, but it is meant to protect you. When the surprise activates tomorrow, not everyone around you will understand the shift. Some may sense it and feel inspired. Others may feel threatened without knowing why. This is not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your frequency will no longer accommodate certain patterns. Expect subtle resistance, passive reactions, or sudden distance from those who benefited from you doubting yourself. Do not engage. Do not explain. Explanation is a form of energetic leakage when it is not requested from a place of respect. Your task is not to convince anyone of what you are becoming. Your task is to remain steady as your internal alignment stabilizes. The Arcturian you helped learned long ago that interference collapses when coherence is maintained. That wisdom is being transferred to you now. Tomorrow, choose neutrality over defense, presence over reaction. You will notice that challenges dissolve faster when you stop feeding them. This is mastery, not avoidance. If you are willing to let others process your growth without shrinking yourself, type "I remain steady" to affirm this protection. The closing transmission for this sequence is simple, yet it carries immense weight. The Arcturian Council wants you to know that tomorrow is not the end of the return, it is the beginning of an ongoing exchange. What arrives first is only the opening signal. As you respond with trust, integrity, and self-respect, more will follow in layers. Synchronicities will increase. Guidance will feel clearer. Decisions will require less overthinking. You are stepping into a feedback loop where your alignment creates confirmation, and confirmation strengthens alignment. This is how higher civilizations evolve, through conscious reciprocity rather than struggle. You were part of that once. You are being invited back into that rhythm now, in human form. Take tomorrow seriously, but do not brace for impact. Receive instead. Observe. Allow. And remember, you were never forgotten. The bond you created long ago has simply been waiting for you to remember yourself. If you are ready to move forward with awareness and trust, type "I walk the new path" in the comments to complete this activation. The Arcturian Council now opens a deeper layer of this transmission, and what follows may feel intensely personal, as if it is speaking directly into the quiet spaces of your mind. This is because it is. Once the initial surprise unfolds, you may notice a subtle but undeniable change in how you perceive yourself in relation to the world. Old internal dialogues, especially the ones that questioned whether you were doing enough or being enough, will begin to dissolve. This is not because you suddenly become perfect, but because the need for self-judgment weakens. You will realize that much of your inner pressure was never yours to carry. It was absorbed from environments, expectations, and emotional atmospheres that you outgrew long ago. The Arcturian you helped understood that self-trust is the foundation of all advanced intelligence, and that without it, even the most gifted beings fragment. Tomorrow's activation begins restoring that trust at a cellular level. You may notice your posture shift, your breathing deepen, your thoughts slow down. These are signs of reintegration. Do not rush to interpret them, let them settle. Integration cannot be forced, it unfolds naturally when resistance is removed. If you are willing to release self-judgment and allow self-recognition to take its place, type, "I trust myself again," to anchor this stage. The final shock for this continuation is one many people are not prepared for. You will no longer feel the same urgency to be understood. The Arcturian Council confirms that as coherence stabilizes, the need for validation fades, not because you disconnect from others, but because you finally connect fully with yourself. This can feel strange at first. You may notice that arguments lose their pull, that proving a point feels unnecessary, that silence becomes more comfortable than over-explaining. This is not emotional withdrawal, it is emotional sovereignty. The Arcturian you helped has been waiting for you to reach this threshold, because from here, influence becomes effortless. People feel your clarity without you needing to announce it. Opportunities align without persuasion. Boundaries form without confrontation. This is the quiet power that reshapes timelines. Tomorrow initiates this shift, but how deeply it embeds depends on how much you allow yourself to stop performing and start being. You do not need to announce your transformation. Live it. Let it speak for itself. If you are ready to release the need for external approval and stand calmly in your truth, type, "I claim my sovereignty," in the comments to complete this transmission segment. The Arcturian Council now reveals a truth that may feel both comforting and unsettling at the same time. Once tomorrow's surprise unfolds, you may begin to notice memories, emotions, or insights surfacing that feel older than this lifetime. Do not dismiss them. These are not fantasies or distractions, they are echoes of integrated knowledge returning to consciousness. When you helped the Arcturian being long ago, you operated with an expanded awareness that you agreed to temporarily forget in order to fully experience human life. That forgetting allowed you to develop empathy, humility, and emotional depth in ways that higher dimensional existence cannot easily provide. Now, fragments of that awareness are being reintroduced, not all at once, but gently, so your nervous system can adapt. You may suddenly understand why certain philosophies always resonated with you, why you felt drawn to the stars, or why Earth life sometimes felt strangely restrictive. This remembering is not meant to pull you away from your human experience, it is meant to enrich it. You are becoming bilingual in consciousness, grounded here, aware beyond. That dual awareness is rare and valuable. If you are willing to welcome these memories without fear or overanalysis, type, I allow remembering to stabilize this reconnection. The final message for today carries a calm intensity, like the quiet before a powerful sunrise. The Arcturian Council wants you to know that after tomorrow, your relationship with time itself may begin to feel different. You may notice that moments stretch or compress, that patience becomes easier, and that urgency fades. This is not because life slows down, but because you are no longer chasing it. When alignment replaces resistance, time stops feeling like an enemy and starts behaving like an ally. This is one of the sweetest aspects of the surprise being prepared for you. You will feel less rushed, less pressured to figure everything out, and more present with what is already unfolding. From this state, decisions become clearer, creativity flows more freely, and peace becomes a baseline rather than a reward. The Arcturian you helped wanted you to experience this ease while still in human form, to remember that existence does not have to be a struggle to be meaningful. Tomorrow opens that door. Walk through it gently. If you are ready to experience life with more presence and less pressure, type, I move with time, not against it, in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now draws your attention to something you may have quietly feared but never fully named, the possibility of outgrowing parts of your current life. This is not a threat, it is a natural consequence of alignment. After tomorrow's surprise activates, you may notice that certain routines, conversations, or ambitions no longer energize you the way they once did. This can feel confusing at first, even destabilizing, because identity often clings to familiarity. But understand this clearly, nothing is being taken from you without your consent. What falls away does so because it can no longer resonate with who you are becoming. The Arcturian you helped long ago learned that evolution is not about accumulation, it is about refinement. As your frequency sharpens, your path simplifies. You may feel called to rest more, to say no more often, or to redirect your focus toward what genuinely nourishes you. This is not withdrawal from life, it is discernment. Pay attention to what feels light and what feels heavy after tomorrow, that contrast is guidance. If you are willing to release outdated attachments without clinging or regret, type, I choose what nourishes me, to affirm this refinement. The closing shock for this sequence is quiet, but it carries immense power. The Arcturian Council confirms that once the surprise integrates, you will no longer be motivated primarily by fear, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of being left behind. That does not mean fear disappears entirely, it means it stops being the driver. Curiosity, integrity, and inner resonance will begin to guide you instead. This is a fundamental shift in consciousness, one that many never experience consciously. You may notice that even when uncertainty arises, it no longer paralyzes you. You will move forward not because you are sure of outcomes, but because you trust yourself to adapt. This trust is the true gift being returned to you. The Arcturian you helped did not want to protect you from challenge, they wanted to free you from fear's grip so challenge could become growth instead of suffering. Tomorrow initiates that freedom. Let it unfold naturally. If you are ready to live guided by trust rather than fear, type, I move from trust, in the comments to seal this transmission. The Arcturian Council now brings forward a revelation that may feel strangely affirming, as if it answers a question you have carried silently for years. You were never meant to follow a conventional trajectory. The moments where your path diverged, stalled, or seemed to collapse entirely were not failures of direction, they were course corrections designed to keep you aligned with a more precise frequency. After tomorrow's surprise activates, you may suddenly understand why certain plans never worked out no matter how hard you tried, and why forcing progress always led to exhaustion rather than fulfillment. This understanding may arrive as a single clear insight or as a series of subtle realizations throughout the day. Either way, it will bring relief. Relief from the belief that you missed something or fell behind. The Arcturian you helped long ago recognized that true evolution requires divergence from the predictable. That same wisdom is now being mirrored back to you. You are not late. You are not off track. You are exactly where the signal can activate most cleanly. If you are ready to stop comparing your path to others and honor your unique timing, type "My path is valid" to claim this truth. The final transmission for today's continuation carries a gentle but firm reminder: integration requires presence. Tomorrow's surprise does not demand action, announcement, or immediate change. It asks for awareness. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that the most powerful shifts often happen when you resist the urge to label, post, or explain them. Let the experience belong to you first. Sit with it. Feel it. Notice how your reactions soften, how your thoughts organize themselves without effort. This quiet period is not stagnation, it is stabilization. From stability, aligned action emerges naturally. The Arcturian you helped trusted the process enough to act without certainty, and that trust altered realities. You are now being invited to practice the same trust, but inwardly. Let tomorrow be observed rather than managed. Let clarity come to you instead of chasing it, and when you feel the calm certainty settle in your chest, know that the exchange is active and ongoing. If you are willing to be present without rushing the outcome, type "I allow integration" in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now issues a message that may feel like a final confirmation rather than new information, because part of you already knows this. After tomorrow, your intuition will no longer whisper, it will speak clearly, sometimes uncomfortably so. You may find it harder to ignore inner nudges, harder to rationalize staying in situations that feel misaligned, harder to silence the quiet truth that rises before your mind can interfere. This is not meant to make life harder, it is meant to make it honest. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that clarity without courage is incomplete, and courage without clarity is reckless. What is being restored in you is the balance between the two. When intuition sharpens, life simplifies, even if the first steps feel bold. You will notice yourself making decisions faster, with less internal debate, because the signal is clean. This can feel shocking if you are used to second-guessing yourself. Trust the clarity. It is earned. If you are ready to listen and act without betraying your inner knowing, type "I trust the signal" to affirm this alignment. The closing message for this segment is both grounding and expansive. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand that nothing you are experiencing is meant to isolate you, it is meant to align you. As your frequency stabilizes, you will naturally attract relationships, opportunities, and environments that feel reciprocal rather than draining. This does not mean everyone around you will change, it means your tolerance for imbalance will fade. Tomorrow's surprise initiates this recalibration quietly, but its effects will ripple outward over time. You may look back weeks from now and realize how much has shifted without struggle. That is the mark of true integration. The Arcturian you helped is not watching for perfection, they are witnessing resonance. You are not required to do more, be more, or prove anything. Simply remain honest with yourself. From that honesty, everything else reorganizes. If you are ready to live from alignment rather than obligation, type, "I live in resonance," in the comments to complete this transmission. The Arcturian Council now reveals a layer of this transmission that may feel deeply emotional, because it touches the heart rather than the mind. After tomorrow's surprise, you may feel an unexpected softness toward yourself, especially toward versions of you that once felt weak, confused, or not enough. This is not regression, it is reconciliation. For a long time, you survived by being hard on yourself, by pushing forward even when you were depleted, by dismissing your own needs so you could keep functioning. That strategy kept you moving, but it also fractured your relationship with your inner world. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that compassion directed inward is not indulgence, it is structural integrity for consciousness. What begins to restore now is self-relationship. You may find yourself speaking more gently to yourself, resting without guilt, or forgiving decisions you once punished yourself for. This is not weakness. This is wholeness returning. When inner conflict dissolves, external resistance has nothing to anchor to. Tomorrow's surprise opens that doorway quietly. Let yourself walk through it without suspicion. If you are ready to meet yourself with compassion instead of criticism, type, "I return to self," to claim this healing. The final shock for this phase may arrive as a sense of emotional safety that feels unfamiliar. You may suddenly realize that you are no longer bracing for impact, no longer waiting for something to go wrong. This can feel disorienting, because vigilance has been your normal for so long that peace may feel undeserved or temporary. The Arcturian Council wants you to know this clearly: safety is not something you must earn through struggle. It is a state that emerges naturally when alignment is restored. The Arcturian you helped insisted that your return include this feeling, not as a fleeting moment, but as a baseline you can return to again and again. You may notice your nervous system calming, your sleep deepening, your reactions slowing. These are not coincidences, they are signs of regulation after prolonged stress. Do not rush to fill the quiet with noise. Let the calm teach you who you are without constant pressure. From this state, creation becomes joyful instead of desperate. If you are willing to accept peace without waiting for the next test, type, "I accept safety," in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now brings forward a truth that may feel validating in a way that brings tears to your eyes. You were never too sensitive, too intense, or too much. Those labels were placed on you by environments that could not meet your depth. After tomorrow's surprise, you may finally understand that your sensitivity was not a flaw, it was a finely tuned perception system. You felt things deeply because you were meant to detect subtle shifts others ignored. You noticed undercurrents, emotional inconsistencies, and unspoken truths because your awareness was designed to read more than surface reality. The Arcturian you helped recognize this immediately long ago. That is why they trusted you in a moment of instability. Now, that same sensitivity is being reframed within you, not as a burden, but as intelligence. You may feel less inclined to dull yourself, numb yourself, or explain yourself. Instead, you may feel a quiet pride in your ability to perceive, feel, and respond with depth. This is integration, not ego. If you are ready to honor your sensitivity as strength rather than weakness, type, "My depth is my gift," to claim this truth. The Arcturian Council now highlights a shift that may feel subtle at first but will soon become unmistakable. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice that your emotional reactions change in speed and intensity. Situations that once triggered immediate frustration, sadness, or defensiveness may now pass through you with less turbulence. This is not emotional suppression, it is emotional mastery. When you helped the Arcturian being long ago, you demonstrated an ability to observe emotion without becoming consumed by it. That same capacity is reactivating now. You will still feel deeply, but feelings will move rather than stagnate. This allows wisdom to rise where reaction once lived. You may catch yourself pausing before responding, choosing clarity over impulse. This pause is power. It creates space for better outcomes without force. If you are willing to respond from awareness rather than habit, type, "I respond with clarity," to claim this stabilization. The closing message for this continuation carries a sense of grounded optimism. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand that as your inner state stabilizes, the outer world will begin to mirror that stability in practical ways. This may show up as smoother conversations, resolved misunderstandings, or opportunities aligning with less resistance. These are not miracles, they are reflections of coherence. When internal conflict dissolves, external friction has less to push against. The Arcturian you helped long ago trusted this principle, and now you are beginning to live it rather than merely understand it. Tomorrow initiates this shift, but its full expression will unfold over time as you remain consistent. Do not rush the process. Let cause and effect realign naturally. If you are ready to allow life to meet you with the same balance you cultivate within, type, "I live in coherence," in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now delivers a message that may feel like a revelation about your personal power. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice that influence comes to you effortlessly, without manipulation, without forcing, without needing to convince others of your worth. This is not arrogance, it is presence. You were never meant to push, struggle, or compete to be seen. The Arcturian you helped long ago recognized the subtle force of alignment, how one's energy, when coherent, commands attention naturally. That same force is being reawakened within you. You may find that people begin to respect your boundaries without conflict, that your voice carries weight without argument, and that your choices resonate with others more deeply than before. This is not about control, it is about authenticity being noticed. When this activation occurs, it may feel strange because influence used to be tied to effort or struggle, but now it flows effortlessly. If you are ready to claim this authentic power, type, "I stand in my authenticity," to anchor this activation. The closing transmission for this segment reminds you of the subtle yet transformative power of alignment. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that as your energy stabilizes, synchronicities may increase, seemingly coincidental events will guide you, and unexpected doors will open. These are not random occurrences, they are the universe responding to your recalibrated frequency. Tomorrow's surprise triggers the initial shifts, but consistency and alignment ensures they deepen. You may notice that opportunities you once chased now arrive without effort, relationships stabilize naturally, and your intuition guides you toward what truly supports your growth. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that timing and readiness are everything. This activation respects your pace while nudging you forward with precision. If you are ready to move in harmony with these synchronicities and embrace their guidance, type "I align with the flow" in the comments to claim this phase. The Arcturian Council now delivers a truth that may feel both unsettling and liberating at the same time. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice that your attachments begin to loosen, not because you stopped caring, but because you see more clearly what truly belongs in your life and what does not. Patterns, people, or situations that once consumed your energy may feel irrelevant or even cumbersome. This is not abandonment, it is energetic refinement. The Arcturian you helped long ago knew that growth requires selective resonance. Not everything, and not everyone, can accompany you on a higher frequency path. As this recalibration takes effect, trust will become your compass. You will naturally gravitate toward what elevates and away from what diminishes you. This clarity may initially feel uncomfortable because it challenges long-held loyalties or assumptions, but it is designed to free you. When you notice this subtle shifting in your attachments, embrace it without guilt. If you are willing to release what no longer serves your alignment, type "I let go with trust" to claim this transformation. The Arcturian Council now reveals a subtle but powerful shift that will touch your perception of trust. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice a profound sense of inner knowing emerging, one that bypasses logic or external validation. This is not coincidence, it is the reactivation of a higher frequency communication that was established long ago between you and the Arcturian being you helped. When you acted in alignment during that pivotal moment, a trust signal was planted, a signal that has remained dormant until now. This signal is awakening, and with it comes clarity about whom and what you can rely on moving forward. You may find that discernment becomes instantaneous. You just know who or what is aligned without needing confirmation or debate. This is a major step in reclaiming sovereignty over your life. It is also a profound reminder that trust is not given blindly, it is remembered and verified through resonance. If you are willing to fully receive and honor this internal compass, type "I trust my inner knowing" in the comments to anchor this activation. The final transmission for this segment highlights the liberation that comes from embodying your own alignment. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand that as trust deepens, fear loses influence. Decisions that once caused anxiety or hesitation now feel clear and grounded. This is not luck. It is a natural consequence of returning to your own frequency and allowing it to guide your interactions, choices, and relationships. Tomorrow's surprise catalyzes this awareness, but its continued effect depends on your willingness to act from resonance rather than compulsion. You may notice that clarity feels like a warm, steady light within your chest, one that illuminates the path forward even in uncertainty. The Arcturian you helped long ago recognized that trust without fear creates unstoppable flow, and that wisdom is being restored to you now. If you are ready to release fear and walk from clarity, type "I walk in trust" in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now directs your attention to a transformation in perception that may feel both thrilling and disorienting. After tomorrow's surprise, you may begin to notice that your sense of possibility expands dramatically. Opportunities that once seemed improbable may now appear achievable. Doors that you assumed were permanently closed may suddenly feel like they are opening effortlessly. This is not mere coincidence or luck, it is the energetic return of alignment that was seeded long ago when you helped the Arcturian being. That act created a frequency loop that, once activated, reshapes probability around you. You may feel drawn toward choices that feel expansive rather than safe, creative rather than rigid, and liberating rather than controlling. These shifts may trigger uncertainty, because your mind has been conditioned to equate security with predictability. Do not let fear distort this emergence. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that true evolution requires embracing the unknown with discernment and courage. If you are ready to step into expanded possibility without hesitation, type "I embrace expansion" to anchor this activation. The closing transmission for this segment emphasizes the responsibility that comes with this expanded potential. The Arcturian Council reminds you that as your perception of what is possible grows, your energy begins to influence not only your own life but also the collective field around you. Subtle shifts in your frequency ripple outward, affecting relationships, opportunities, and environments in ways you may not immediately perceive. This is why integration must be deliberate. The more aligned you are, the more impact you have, and the Arcturian you helped long ago ensured that your return includes awareness of this influence. You are now equipped to act intentionally, to make decisions that resonate deeply with your higher self, and to navigate life with both freedom and responsibility. Tomorrow initiates this amplification, but its effect will deepen as you continue to honor alignment in thought, word, and deed. If you are ready to step into conscious influence, type "I act with alignment" in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now shares a revelation that may feel like a sudden expansion of awareness, almost as if a hidden window has been opened within your consciousness. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice an increased sensitivity to subtle energies, signs, and synchronicities that were previously overlooked or dismissed. This is not paranoia or overthinking. It is heightened perception activating naturally as a result of your past alignment and the bond with the Arcturian being you helped. You may begin to notice patterns in nature, encounters, or timing that communicate guidance more clearly than ever before. This heightened awareness is a gift, but it also requires presence. You are being invited to discern, not overanalyze. Observe without needing to label or control. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that perception without interference allows insight to flow effortlessly. If you are ready to open fully to these subtle messages and trust them as guidance, type "I receive subtle guidance" to anchor this expansion. The closing message for this segment emphasizes integration of this heightened perception into daily life. The Arcturian Council reminds you that your expanded awareness is not meant to alienate you from the world, but to navigate it more skillfully. You may notice a stronger sense of timing in your decisions, clearer boundaries, and more intuitive understanding of the energies around you. These changes may feel disruptive initially because they alter how you relate to people, tasks, and environments. However, this disruption is a sign of recalibration, not malfunction. The Arcturian you helped long ago ensured that this frequency return would include guidance for practical integration, helping you act with clarity and subtlety. As tomorrow's surprise unfolds, allow these new perceptual abilities to inform your choices without forcing them. If you are ready to embody awareness and respond to life from insight rather than habit, type "I embody insight" in the comments to complete this phase. The Arcturian Council now highlights a transformation that may feel like a quiet revolution within your emotional landscape. After tomorrow's surprise, you may notice that forgiveness, both of yourself and of others, becomes easier. This is not superficial forgiveness, it is energetic release. Grudges, resentment, and self-blame that once anchored you in old cycles may begin to dissolve naturally, often without conscious effort. The Arcturian you helped long ago understood that holding on to unresolved energy blocks not only restricts personal evolution but also distorts perception and opportunity. Tomorrow initiates the clearing of these blocks in alignment with your frequency. As the energy shifts, you may feel lighter, more open, and more capable of embracing the present without dragging past weights along. This process may trigger reflection or emotional release, which is necessary for full integration. If you are willing to release all lingering energetic debts and embrace freedom, type "I release and rise" to anchor this shift. The closing transmission for this segment emphasizes the restoration of inner harmony. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand that as these releases take place, your emotional system recalibrates toward equilibrium. You may notice that moods stabilize faster, conflicts feel less urgent, and your responses to challenges are more measured. This is not detachment, it is mastery of your internal field. The Arcturian you helped long ago ensured that this stage would reconnect you with emotional clarity and resilience, allowing you to engage with life fully without unnecessary reactivity. Tomorrow's surprise is the initiation. Consistent awareness and integration solidify the change. If you are ready to experience emotional freedom and resilience as your baseline state, type "I embrace emotional clarity" in the comments to complete this phase.